So many players I come across in my coaching struggle and say they struggle from hitting off the back foot. Now, what exactly does that mean? It means that when they swing the golf club, as the club's approaching the ball, they're applying more pressure into the ground through the right foot and not getting it across to the left. So today we're going to have a look at what those causes are, because once you understand the causes, fixing it's easy. Hi, my name's Peter Knight and I've created this channel, Peter Knight Golf, to help you play the best golf you can. And today we're going to help you get onto your front foot. You notice all the good players, when they're swinging the golf club, never seem to struggle with this. Now the key to it is well, there's a number of keys, but the key we're going to focus on today is how the body moves, how the pressure moves, the timing of that movement, and also keeping the body center, because they're all interlinked. Now, when I set myself up, my balance or my pressure is even on both feet. And what I want you to do is to picture a line running up the outside of my body, so it's running from the outside of my right leg and it'll go to about the right side of my head. Now, when I swing the club back, if I move past that imaginary line, particularly with my upper body, and that's really easy to do for players that are trying to feel like they're getting pressure onto the right side in the backswing. So as I go back, if my upper body moves this way, then I'm in trouble. The downswing time is going to take you somewhere between, say, a quarter and a third of a second. It doesn't sound very long, but that's all the time it takes. If your body's out of position at the end of the backswing, it's really tricky to get back onto the other side. In fact, almost so much so that it's nearly impossible to. So what do we need to do? First of all, if you imagine that line, when I turn back to the top of my swing, I'm trying to keep the right side of my body on that line. I'm looking to avoid crossing it. Then when I swing down, it's going to be much easier to get my balance across to the front side. So the way I can practice this is, if I say go without a golf club and just make some backswings, even just doing what I'm doing here, so I can feel that the right side of my body is staying straight. Now I've got plenty of pressure in my right side here. Probably 70 to 80% of pressure is in my right foot rather than my left foot, even though my body has actually stayed quite centered. As I get to the very end of the backswing, and we're going to have a look at the timing with the arms in a moment, but as I get to the very end of my backswing, my body starts to move just a little bit to the left. You can just see on the camera that my body's moving this way. Now, as soon as my body starts to move this way, now the pressure's almost completely shifted across to my left. And as I begin to move back toward the left side, I've already got all the pressure on my left leg. Well, my left leg's vertical and I've probably got 70 to 80% of pressure here. Not all of it, of course, not 100%. Now, if we have a look at how that works with the arms, when I swing the club back to the top of the swing, as I'm getting to the very end of the backswing, so before the very end of the backswing, my body starts to move forward. Now, by the time I've got to here, so my left arm's about parallel to the ground, now my left leg is almost completely vertical. And then I can move through. So if I play a shot doing that, you can see that for me, it's very easy, and it'll be for you as well, very easy to get that pressure onto that left side. So there's almost like a slight floating feel when I get to the top of the backswing and begin that transition. It's only a small movement, but it's a very easy one to do, provided I've stayed centered at the end of the backswing. Now, a lot of players, when they create that movement, if they just move the upper body in the downswing, they're going to be in trouble. So we've still got to have correct order of movement, or correct movement sequence from the top of the backswing. I'm moving forward, but then my lower body is moving forward and my upper body staying steady. That's all I've got to do. The key though is to get the feel of that sequence. So practice the backswing movement even without arms and club, just to get the feel of the movement. When you make say if I make a continuous movement here, if I'm watching my shadow, the sun's out in front of me so that I'm not a silhouette. But if I was to turn around, I'd be able to watch and see that movement occurring by watching my shadow. I'm looking to avoid my body drifting to the right. That's the key reason why All of the good players are able to get the pressure back onto the left side very, very easily because they don't have their body drifting too far to the right in the backswing. Practice that. It's likely to give you a bit more distance, but certainly it's going to allow you to control the strike point on the ground very easily.